Welcome to the Bossy Woman's Guide podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie, and I have two bossy ass women with me today. Yes. Let me tell you this. When I first thought about this show, I knew, like, becoming your best self, I had to get two women who I knew are not just even, killing it and becoming their best self, but they're continuously doing the work and the process. And they're doing it while multitasking with so many other things. They're business owners. And I'm going to shoot right to it because I know we don't have much time. The first 15 minutes, y'all, we go live on Facebook. And then the rest, you have to go on to Speaker and iTunes to see the remainder of the show. But let's get into it. So I'm going to introduce my ladies. I have Billyssia Pierce of Be Fit Foods.
Hey, Stephanie.
Welcome, girl.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to the table. Bringing all
honor.
this bossy and this beautiful and this boldness. Yes.
Love it.
And to the left of her, I have, this is my cousin, y'all. And I sometimes don't nobody ever know it, but we be together and hanging tight. Like, I don't know what, but Shasta Wilson. Hey. She is the owner, the CEO of Guiltless Forsure. Let me tell you something real quick. Y'all know I kind of freestyle, do my own thing. But y'all know I love bossy women. I love women who are strong, who are owning their power. And I believe that, when we come together and we collaborate like we do, and we sit and we talk and we chat, we share our experiences, it gives other women a chance to see women in a positive light who are not trying to compete with each other, but compete with our own selves, like making our own selves better. And then also building this little fortress around us to where we say, you know what, just what we got going on, anybody who's in a place in their life where you feel like you want to create your best life, you can do the same thing too. This is what this show is about. It's about taking our guide and sharing it with you. And everybody has a guide, and when we share this guide, hey, everybody gets to a place in their life where we're all a blossoming. There's no need for jealousy. There's no need for trying to compete with each other.
Right.
It's because everybody have their own power that God has put within all of us. And the moment you get to your best self and you start actualizing it, that's when you get in your flow. So let's talk about it. Hey.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, so I'm just going to cut right to it. There was a time in my life, and I would go back to 2 years when things were a little bit different. I had these ideas and these dreams, but it was a lack of belief in myself that kept me from moving forward. And I'm going to start with you, Billyssia, because for you to be where you are with your company, how many years have you been doing this?
3 years now.
3
and a
years.
half years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing because now, I see you on everything.
Yeah.
Media.
It's a blessing, yeah.
Everything. You have a company and you're functioning like a machine. You're hiring people, looking for some new people to hire, growing your team. Before you started Be Fit Foods, what gave you the motivation? What gave you the drive to say, you know what? I have this idea. I can do this.
Well, so I started Be Fit Foods about 10 years ago. I became a certified personal trainer. And one of my clients' biggest setbacks was, of course, their nutrition. Mm-hmm. And if you're in the health industry, you know that nutrition is the biggest component to a healthier lifestyle.
Yes.
So for as long as I can remember, I've always had the entrepreneurial mindset. I always wanted to be my own boss, to have my own companies, to build an empire. So I knew that Be Fit Foods would just be another part of my empire. And initially, I still had a corporate job, and I had Be Fit Solutions, which was my personal training. And initially, I just thought that Be Fit Foods was going to be something that I did on the side of training, and that wasn't the case.
Can you cook?
No, I could not. I could not cook when I first started my business. That's how, there's some things that in life, you go through lots of things, and I like that a lot of people say that they don't know what their purpose is. Mm-hmm. But that's what life is. Your purpose is found in your journey.
Yes.
And I've gone through, I'm only 31 years old. I've gone through, my 20s and those are, from 20s to 30s, that's a very pivotal time in your life. But I'm now placed in my, in my purpose. Mm-hmm. And so when you're in your purpose, there's no matter, what you can't do doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I
could not cook, but I've built this successful $1 million company on my purpose.
On your purpose.
You know what I mean? So
that's intricate, you know, because it's
yeah.
so intricate. Because you know what, when people try to figure like, oh my gosh, I can't do this because I don't have this part of it.
That's and you know what? Before I even started BeFit Foods, I thought, okay, this is something that I want to do. I have to find a chef. And so at the time, I had a friend that she was a chef. She was an amazing chef, known in Houston, and I would talk to her about it and come to realization that I couldn't afford her. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna have to put this on the back burner for a little bit and figure it out. But there just came a time where I was like, you know what, I keep talking about it. I'm gonna stop talking about it. I got some girlfriends together. Eating healthy is a lot different than, you know, cooking or throwing down. I don't know how to throw down, but I can cook to survive. And I know what it takes for you to live a healthy lifestyle. So I had the background. I had the nutrition background. So it wasn't hard for me to actually put it together. It was just doing that, taking part and actually doing it. And so I finally put it together, and within 4 months, you know, so I started cooking for my clients, and then my family and friends wanted me to start cooking for them. Within 4 months, I had to quit my corporate job and go full time with BeFit Foods. And
that's amazing.
So
that's work.
4 months in, I've been successfully depending solely on BeFit Foods. I've been caring for and just depending solely on myself.
So I'm gonna take it back just for a second, because you said some things that just really stood out to me. And I think when people become entrepreneurs, they forget the work you have to put in and the sacrifices. And they still want to live this glam life and this life like, you know, they can still do everything. But tell me about the season in your life when everything had to stop and you had to grind and you had to make sacrifices. What was your motivation? Because for you to say you did this in 4 months, girl, I know you gave up a lot. I mean, I know your life
I always tell
different.
people my hustle ain't pretty. My hustle wasn't pretty. That's just the gritty of it. It wasn't pretty. You know, some people get to wake up and be glamorous for their job. That wasn't what I had to do. When I was the first 4 months of my business, I was so working so hard that, which is why I had no choice but to quit at 4 months. I would work my corporate job, get off, go home and cook until that morning, until it was time for me to take a shower, to go back to work, get off, go home and cook until it was time for me to take a shower and go back to work.
That's a hustle. And that's the grinding.
I was dealing with numbers, and I tell this story all the time, but my numbers started to be off, and it was just at a time my family was like, B, you got this, quit. And I'm like, y'all ain't paying my bills. But they're like, you don't see this? You don't see this? You know, because we tell each other everything. And I guess I'm just like, oh, I'm not sleeping. I'm over here working. And they're like, you can't, this is yours. Quit. And there was a time where I knew that if I had not quit, I was going to get fired anyway. So I put in my 2 weeks notice. And no looking back.
Because your passion is just like, once you get into it, you be so hungry. You know, Shasta was saying something before we got on and started talking, and she was just talking about she's in a place in her life where she still has a job, and she was just telling me like what her day's been like. Like, tell us about it, Shasta, because I mean, girl, I don't even know how you even got your eyes open talking to me right now.
Well, pretty much the same thing as Billyssia. I go to work 4 o'clock in the morning. I come home, I prepare orders. Also, we're inside of BeFit Foods, so they order. They're constantly, you know, repetitively ordering. Right. So I'm always, you know, preparing orders, and I don't always have help because my husband works and my kids have jobs or whatever. So the same thing from the time I get up. You know, get off from work, I come home, and sometimes I'm working up until it's time for me to get a couple of hours of sleep in and get right back up for my corporate job. It's the same thing.
That's a requirement, though. Like, when you're going to do anything, I don't care if it's even on the level to where you're doing it in your kitchen, you're going to advance out of that to where it's going to move beyond. Yes. Because, I mean, in under a year, look what you've done already.
Yes, we're getting there. Yes.
But it's taking that version of yourself. Like, we all know we got a higher self, the better version of who we are in our head.
Right.
And it's every day becoming that person. Right. You know, and even when your grind want to say go to sleep, that passion, that love for it, you know, and your importance on trying to make what you want to make happen kicks in. And I think that's that missing piece that sometimes people, when you hear, especially entrepreneurs, when I listen to them and we talking about, you know, what you're sacrificing, you know, it's just like the part of it, everybody's going to have a level of sacrifice that they're going to get to it.
Right.
But it's going to be based on how important your dream and what you're doing is important to you.
Right.
Because you won't always have cheerleaders. Like cheering you on all the time.
But
you
nobody's
become your
helping,
own
though.
cheerleader. Yeah, you got to get in there and do it yourself and be your own cheerleader. And I think it's important too not to allow people in this process to define your limitations and what you can do.
Exactly.
Because people try to tell you, like, you know, maybe you shouldn't do both, or maybe you should, you know, walk away from it. But you know what you got.
Yeah.
You know,
You have to know.
Yeah,
of course.
And that's like the major part about, you know, redefining your own self and what you want to do, and not letting nobody tell you. You know, because I know for me with this podcast, when I first started doing it, like the first episode, I had someone and they was like, you know what? I don't really see that in your cars. Why don't you do something else? I'm going to keep it PG. Hold up, back up.
Like,
and that's the thing about it. Like, I don't care whether or not you see that for me. I saw it for myself.
Right.
I saw it before it even actualized. I was working on helping somebody build their own podcast way before I saw it for myself. And sometimes you have to do that. You know, you have to lend your service to somebody else while you're in the process of making it happen.
Right.
But never let anybody define what you're supposed to be. Because, I mean, if somebody told you not to do BeFit Foods, I mean, look how you got here.
Exactly.
And it's so key, you know, to get where you want to get to. Now, I do want to ask y'all ladies this question, you know, because I know that every time a person talks about at this table about their little story, everybody got something interesting to say. Okay, I'm going to start with you, Billyssia. What is the defining moment in your life that brought you to where you are today?
Ooh.
That's my favorite question.
The defining moment. What I just spoke on. When the moment that I knew that I had to quit my job to go full time with BeFit Foods, it's a scary moment. It's a scary moment because you don't know what that entails. You don't know what the future entails. But I do know, and I've always known, that no matter what Billyssia does, Billyssia will always be successful.
That's so key.
So I believe in myself like nobody else.
Exactly.
That's so
nobody
key.
else. So if BeFit Foods fails, Billyssia is not failing.
Yes.
So this is fine. This company that I've been able to find my purpose in is amazing. It's a blessing that a lot of people do not get to experience. And I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful for this moment.
That's an incredible moment.
What the future holds tomorrow, next year, maybe there will be, or maybe there won't be a BeFit Foods, but there will be me. And continuing to build a legacy, continuing to inspire, continuing to live my purpose. So the purpose isn't this company. The purpose is me building and inspiring and helping others to see,
Girl,
man,
say that.
she really is powerful. She really is strong. I can be that.
Yeah.
I can be that no matter what obstacles I've experienced. If she did it, trust me, you know, don't you hate when people say, if I did it, you could do it?
But that's true, though.
Oh, my gosh. It's
It's so true, though, because people, they forget, you know, and they start thinking about all the circumstances. They think about what they got going on this right moment. Oh, my gosh, I can't do it because I got this up. If every person who ever became successful stopped every time something happened or something was going on in their life, they'll never get to it. And you have to learn how to persist without exception.
Exactly.
You know, because we all have those days when, you know, business ain't always going to be.
Oh, my gosh.
There's going to be days when you're like, man, I'd rather be asleep. I'd rather be doing something else.
Of course.
But, of course.
At this time, I have more of those days.
Yeah. Girl.
Oh, my
and
gosh.
With you being on the level of success you have, you could choose to say, you know what? Let me this going all great. Let me just sit back and let it flow. But that's the
not
thing
her.
about, but that's.
I know,
that's
and you
not-
know that,
that's not her.
you know what? And I want to talk to entrepreneurs right now. Like, that's okay, because y'all have no idea how much I beat myself up when it's time for me to get some rest and there's something that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not living great. You're not being, you know, of your full potential. My mind just tells me that, you know, I got to keep going. You do not. You have to stop and take a break. I kid you not, for 2 years straight when I started my business, a little over 2 years straight, I never had a day off. And that's where I was. That was my focus at the time, and that's okay too. My focus, I needed that for myself. I needed that grind for myself.
You're redefining how you're supposed to be.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes. So people are like, find the balance. If I find the balance, I'm gonna get a little off track. So let me do me.
Yeah.
And I gotta stay focused and have tunnel vision. That's just how, you gotta know yourself. Some people, I don't kill myself over things that I can't do. Yeah. I'm not a cleaner, so I hire a maid. I'm not killing myself because I don't like to wash the dishes.
Hey,
if you like to wash the dishes, I love you for that. But that's not my thing, okay?
Yes.
So we have to be okay with what we don't like.
I love that.
We
And
have
that's
to be
the
okay with
intricate
what we
parts
don't
of
like.
becoming your best self.
It
is
is.
knowing what you
Knowing
can
yourself.
do and what you can't do, and
You
letting
have to
somebody else do
delegate.
what
Oh
you
my
can
gosh,
do, so you
you
can
do.
be
You really
flowing
do.
in that other area
Yes.
that you flow in.
Because as women, we're like,
we feel that Superwoman vibe coming out.
I didn't even wash the dishes.
That is true. That is true. That is so
I hate
true.
washing dishes. Like
that's just not me. But
don't let me fold no clothes. I pay my kids $20 to fold clothes because I just don't like folding clothes. Yeah, I'll wash all day, but fold them clothes up
and putting
I'm
them up.
$20.
Yeah. So it's hard. It's tough. You think that you're always supposed to be on it, but you have to try and find the balance. You really do, because it's detrimental to your health, and it's very important. It's very important. So now, I feel like I take more time off than I should be taking off.
But I'm sure you're like happy. Like your life is happier. You got your flow going. You're really experiencing.
I don't know, because it's kind of like a catch-22. I'll take off to go home, and the whole time I'm resting, I'm thinking about
your mind
work.
is going.
So I haven't really gotten there yet, but I'm working on it. So it's a process. So I just think that as entrepreneurs, we're really hard on ourselves. But there's nothing, if you're doing the best that you can do, there's nothing that anyone can do to take what you have away from you.
I love that. You said that a year ago when I think we was at somebody's event, and you said you heard a quote. Someone say, "Do your absolute best." And you have to be okay with it. As long as you do your absolute best. There's nothing else that you can do, and that you're in you're where you're supposed to be. That's right.
Because if you're doing your absolute best, there's nothing else that can go on, and the universe will just work in your favor. It just will. You're doing what you're supposed to do. Now it's that time where you're slacking and not doing what you need to be doing is when you're worried, and those opportunities pass you by. But if an opportunity, I don't worry about anything passing me by. I just don't, because I know that
space to be in.
Something else will come.
Something else is gonna come.
And you're the queen of your own universe. I believe that. I believe you dominate your own universe, and then what's for you can nobody take away.
That is true.
Especially when you're operating in the universe with abundance and doing right by everything that God has given you the gift to do. Then you have nothing to feel like God got you. Like you say, you ordered my steps ordered. Whatever didn't get done today, or whatever opportunity someone may have I missed out on, or because people get like that. Well, this is an opportunity for you. You can't let somebody define what's an opportunity for you.
Right.
That's true.
Shasta, okay, your turn. Share with me the defining moment of your life.
Well, actually, Guiltless came to me in a dream. I always tell this story.
Oh, wow.
I don't know this story.
Oh, I didn't tell you that
You didn't
story?
tell me, and I thought I knew everything.
No, it came to me in a dream.
Bit.
I'm not a baker. I don't cook, I like to microwave food, Eat some.
You, Shasta?
Yeah, girl, no. I don't. That's just not my thing, Like she said, she can't cook, but, look what she's doing, It came to me in a dream one night. Just a little background about myself. I work with dialysis patients, hemodialysis patients, and one way that the patients got there was due to diet, diabetes, hypertension, So that contributed to their kidney failure. And I think that when my mom started dialysis, and that really woke me up. Like, God, we need to stop this. What can I do to be a part of the process of stopping it? It's a $1 billion industry, but nobody's trying to really stop it. So I think that's what came to me one night when I was asleep. Desserts,
Girl, you
make some healthy desserts. I don't, but I even don't,
Yeah.
So I was at work, and it just kept, tapping me on the head. Hey, what you gonna do about it? So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? How can I make desserts healthy? So I started Googling different stuff and trying to figure out, well, how can I make these cookies and substitute something healthier, healthier product. And I did. I started coming up with different stuff and putting stuff together. At first, in the beginning, it was really hard. I wasted a lot of product because it didn't taste right. So over time, I was always in the lab, which is the kitchen, coming up with different stuff. And it actually ended up turning out where it tasted really well. And my family was loving it. And it also, as far as diabetic patients, it didn't do anything to their sugar level. So I was like, I think we got something here. And I've been on it ever since. I love incredible. It. I've been on it ever since. So,
wow.
Yeah.
This whole time, I literally thought you was a baker, and you just started baking.
So did I. I know you knew how to bake.
Just baking some stuff up, and stuff came together. I was
the presentation looks so great.
Bacon.
No, I'm
not.
Wow.
The customers, every time they come in, they're like, how is this healthy? and I believe in the product, so I'm just like, oh, don't worry, take your first pack on me, because so when you believe in something, you don't worry about giving something away, because they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back. I do that all the time. Like, so I don't work as a cashier in the store, so a lot of the new customers don't know that I'm the owner. So they ask me questions like, what's your favorite, or how long you been here? So I remember one time I was walking out and going to my car, and they were like, oh, you work here? And I was like, yeah, I work here. And they were like, is it good? I was like, yeah, it's really good. She was like, you probably just saying that because you work here. I was like, come on in and have lunch on me.
Yeah.
So when you believe in something and you know that someone is going to like your product, you have the quality and the taste sells itself. Exactly. You don't worry about anything else. You just continue to increase and focus on the quality control and your customer service.
Exactly.
You're real big on that too. Like figuring out what your customers like and what we should add, what we should take away. And I mean, it's not just about you trying to build something for yourself, but you're trying to build something that's going to take on whatever needs to take on.
Customer service is key. I tell my employees this all the time. When I first started my business, it was just me, and then thankfully my grandma came in to help me. And while she was cooking, I was delivering, and we would cook all day and deliver, and then I would deliver by myself. And I had lots of professional clients. Some of them would get their meals at 10, 11 o'clock at nighttime on a Sunday night.
You was not playing.
And they weren't happy about it, but they believed in my drive. They believed in my product. And to this day, those customers that were with me when they weren't getting the best customer service are still with me.
Wow.
Right. So that's why you take care of your customers.
Yeah.
Because when they believe in you, when they've supported you, this is how you've gotten to where you've gotten, because of what you've given them.
That's so important, because I know a lot of businesses lose sight of that.
I never will.
Because I mean, even when I a couple times, I came in there twice. First time I came, I met your mom. Your mom was so sweet.
Everyone
I didn't even know
loves
it was her mom at first, but the customer service has always been there.
Right.
From the time you walk in with your staff, it's like you're training them how you want them to treat your customers, you feel it. And I think that's the reason why your business is continuously growing.
It is.
It's because the main ingredients they got it there is still the main ingredients is still there today.
Yeah.
And you're
I was
adding
thinking
on some more.
earlier today, I was like, you know what? No one's ever come in and say, let me speak to the manager, because it doesn't matter which employee you're going to get. They're going to give you that ultimate customer service.
Yeah.
And I was really,
That's
great.
great.
That made me feel proud. It really did. Since I've been in that location, no one's ever, tried to throw that manager card, because the employees can take care of you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All they have to, what would B do?
Yeah, that's good. That's a good.
So I'm really building this
training.
business on customer service, and I've been blessed with an amazing team.
You do have a good team. Like even from you and Nick, like I go in there and Nick, we be microwave, ask if you need anything.
Yeah.
It's just great customer service from everybody there.
Yeah.
Because they care about it and they take ownership that the fact that they love working there. And I think you have a lot to do with the part of it, because you're the queen bee of it, of course. But it comes out of you and it flows.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why, when you thrive in your purpose, it's like people are attracted to you.
Yes.
They run towards you.
Right.
It's like you have this light on and you shining and glowing. Like that's your glow. Your natural glow is when you honor who you are and how God made you, and you do your best in it.
Right.
You become your best.
Right.
Yes,
and
you
sometimes that that best meaning you have to you know, I'm gonna say without saying too much, but take some things off of yourself, you know, and get rid of what does not work, you know, in your life. Like sometimes life can be a mess, you know, and to get it
a lot of times life can be a mess.
Yes, and it's to get it flowing to where you can be back at your best self, you know, it's always getting rid of what you don't and adding on to what you do.
Right.
You just have to stay focused and, you know, keep moving, keep pushing forward, no matter how tired you are. You know, if you're really trying to accomplish something, you have to keep doing it. You know, it's like losing weight.
Girl, I was hoping you wasn't gonna go there. But go ahead, because I've been out the gym for like, I ain't gonna say, but I've been out for a little time. Well, I'm nursing a knee, but anyway, I'm constantly trying to picture my best version of myself. I see her in my head, and she got hips and she glowing and all this kind of stuff, and I try to keep that on my in my mind space when I go work out, because that's like my tough thing. I hate working out, but I know it's great for me.
And that's the thing with a lot of people. You know, you want the end results, but you don't want to put in the work to get there.
Yeah.
And
sometimes I don't want to put the work in. I just want I want a button, but I know it doesn't exist.
But it doesn't work like that.
So I'm working on that part with myself.
And
like, you know, I can hit that Stairmaster for 45 minutes.
That's good.
Yeah, I love that Stairmaster. I give it a business when I'm on I be like, we gonna get it in.
Yeah.
But any like lifting weights, she has to tell you I'm weak. I be like, I don't want to lift weights. I do the Stairmaster.
Like, this is heavy.
You know, but I know I want to tone up, and I know I have to. And so for me to be where I want to be, I'm gonna have to put in the work.
You're gonna have to. I would say they're not giving it away, but
I know they are giving away muscles.
Oh my God!
You can buy it, but
I'm not buying no muscles. I seen on the website where you can get a 6-pack in 48 hours. Like, how they do that? Yeah, on the website. Hey, I heard you say that the whole year when you wasn't working out, you just ate healthy. You just ate beef foods.
I was able
nutrition,
to maintain.
It really is 80% of everything.
It really is.
It is. And actually, my husband, he may kill me for this, but he lost 20 pounds since January.
Are you serious?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Girl,
and he had really bad.
He does look good though.
He does.
Yeah.
Don't get her started. He got a brother. No, just.
But he lost 20 pounds since the beginning of January. He had really bad acid reflux, and the thing with him is we changed his whole diet,
right?
You know, and we were purchasing a lot of BeFit foods, so you know,
girl, you were playing with you put him on that BeFit foods help plan and say this is what we gonna do.
We were going every Sunday getting our meals for the week, and with that he lost 20 pounds just by really eating healthy, and he was working out maybe a couple of days a week whenever he was able to, but eating healthy does make a difference.
It really
you can
feel
lose
better
the
though.
weight. He feels a lot better
though.
and no acid reflux at all.
That's good.
Wow.
So it's all in what you put in your body, and that's what
really
people
is.
need to realize.
You know what? I honestly I've been loving me on some me.
Yeah.
And I always do like the pescatarian diet. Anytime I feel like I'm out of balance with anything, I'm feeling heavy, and I mean it's just the way I take care of myself.
Right.
You know. Yeah. And I love it. One thing I can't eat that I want to eat is bread.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm working on bread, trying to incorporate it back in my life.
Well, think about it.
We got a little break going on.
The thing is, what you put in your body is going to also reflect on the outside.
Yeah, and it bloats me.
Yeah.
Bread bloats. Yeah. But I love it, but I just can't have it right now. We got to be breaking up for like a season.
I have a love-hate relationship with potatoes.
Potatoes?
It spreads me.
Girl, anything the savory that I shouldn't eat, like macaroni and pasta. All in the bread, you know. I've been good though.
Yeah, you've been okay.
I've been doing my affirmations. Y'all say affirmations?
Oh yeah.
Girl, so I've been killing them. They all over my mirror.
Affirmation board.
Yeah.
It's right in front of my toilet. So
mine is on my shower.
I sit down every day. I'm just looking at it.
Yeah, mine is my shower. So when I'm in it, I'm looking at it. I'm like,
which one today?
I didn't do that one.
You got to. I got this. You know, they have these markers you can write on your mirror.
That's what I use.
And I got them all on my mirrors. Yeah. You know, and that's what I have to. That's what I look to. I write my goals and I have a sentence I do every week. It's like something what I'm gonna do this week that's different from the last week. Like I tell myself, girl, what didn't you do right last week? That you did better this week.
That's so good.
And I write it down, and it's between me and myself. You know what I need to better myself and do, and I work on that.
Yeah.
You know, it goes back to Benjamin Franklin. You know, he had 13 virtues that he worked on every single day.
Okay.
Nice.
And he kept a chart of it. And it was his own personal way to continue to be a better person.
Right.
So I can't do the 13 like Benjamin did like that. You know,
yeah, sure you can.
I can, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, everything I got going on.
Being realistic.
Yeah, I'm being realistic with myself. Like, I got 4 kids and everything else I'm trying to do. But no, I know realistically the level I'm on now, I do one and I make a commitment.
Right.
You know, to that. And that's just a part of me loving myself and becoming my best self. Because, I mean, you're not going to get where you're trying to go to unless you're willing to put in the work. And self-work is the work that nobody wants to do, but that's the best work.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You know, taking out the negative. We think over 50,000 thoughts a day. You know?
We do.
And if we're not conscious of what we're thinking and putting into our brains and what we're continuing to feed ourselves, you know, it's in our behavior.
Right.
So the more thoughts you take out that are negative, the more you put in that are positive, this is how you start changing and this is how you start shifting.
Right.
Before you know it, you sit in your behavior. Because I can tell you, like 2 years ago, I went through a whole transformation for who I am today. You know, and it's just being married and being in a place where I'm like, oh my gosh, this had became my identity. And I forgot my passions. I forgot my purpose a little bit. But the moment I connected right back to it and started to really flow into it, it's just like all of a sudden God was like, well, girl, you said you was ready, so let's go.
Yeah.
You know, you back in it, let's go.
That's definitely how it'll hit you, too.
Are you ready? Because he won't come to you unless you're ready, unless you're moving, you know. And
I believe that because, like I said, I was not even thinking about baking or cookies and cupcakes and none of that stuff.
But as soon as you
start,
it
came to me.
I got to rethink this whole storyline I had of you, honestly.
It was meant
for me. I just was for sure you was in there baking one day and said, you know what?
Yeah,
I really want a cupcake. Yeah.
That's
Guiltless.
It was in the box. You first started doing it. That's good. That's so good.
I had no clue, and because I believe it came to me in a dream, it was my purpose. It was meant for me. So I was like, let me go ahead and try this.
That's how it happens because like the whole year when I started moving and everything I wanted to do, when God gave me the whole idea, before I got Bossy Women's Guide, he gave me the idea of it, but I just didn't have the name. And then I met 9 bossy ass women in 1 year. Like these women I didn't know before. Billyssia is one of them. Yeah. And each of them imparted a principle. You know, hers was like, you know, whatever you got, give it to the world. Right. You know, and each one of them gave me that, and it just became like a part of what I was supposed to be doing and where I was supposed to be growing to. And it's all about trusting the process, because even in that process, and I know y'all understand that whole trust part, you know, stuff can look like you don't know which way it's going to go, but that's when your faith kicks in and tell you, you got this. You know, you know where you're going. You got this. Give all your flavor, all that extra stuff that make you great, you know, our glow, and go with it, you know, and that's how you do it. And don't let anybody define who you're supposed to be.
That is true.
You know, and I have this thing I do about redefining myself. In the process, the more I love and protect myself, the less I allow people to define what me should be, how me should look like, what me should be riding, everything.
Exactly.
Everything me should be doing.
And that's something else, speaking of what you're saying about, you know, what you should basically be doing. You know, I think a lot of people think that when you're a business owner or whatever, that you should have this type of car, carry this type of bag, you know, go to this type of party. No.
Those things don't mean anything.
Exactly.
Especially when you're building.
And when you're building, you're trying to put as much money as you can towards your business.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, how is it going to grow if you're not, you know, putting into it? So the nice bags and the expensive luxury cars and the high-end clothes, no.
That's when you don't care what people think.
Yeah,
you know, and
not
the thing
at all.
about being on this journey of, like, becoming your best self, I believe the moment you stop connecting to what everybody else saying in that chatter, and you disconnect from that and connect to what you say about yourself, then you don't care, you know, about it. You know, you just don't.
You're not. That's not even your focus anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. So outside noise, you really don't even.
You get rid of it. But just think about how many times people are allowing people to define them, and they're buying cars based on that. On social media. They're doing things based on what they think people like. You know, and that's just what it is. And if you're not careful, you get lost in that. You'll be showing up as somebody else. I think it was probably at the beginning of last year, the year before last, Kalia Guillory had did Unleash Your Dopeness tour, and I went to it. Yeah. And one of the first things she said, and I didn't even know, this is my whole time I'm saying yes to everything that I want to do. And I'm going places by myself and I don't care. Yeah. And so I went by myself and I was like, had so much energy, and they kept saying, who is her? What's she doing here? I was happy. Like, I mean, when you're happy with yourself and you're in this good place where you're trying to discover, you know, who you are, you say yes to a lot of things that you wouldn't say yes. You have no fear. Right. And me, before, I used to not want to go nowhere by myself. You know, so I started going places. I love going places by myself. Yeah. Like, now I love it. But I showed up and she talked about our power, you know, and sometimes we give it away. And when we give it away, we show up as these different people, you know, and the people we show up as look different. Like, it look so different from who we really are.
Right.
And I realized that I had been doing that for so long, like showing up not as the best representation of Stephanie, you know? And I remember leaving that and I was so on a roll because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm on fire. Like, this just did something for me. It was like a little breakthrough. And sometimes that happens when you're a mother and you know, your time is given so much to taking care of your kids and taking care of a husband and everything goes to them. If you're not careful, you'll lose sight of you, and you always have to have that, you know, that balance, and always have to keep sight of yourself. I literally left, I did a whole video, and I wasn't even doing videos. I was like, I did a whole video and posted it on social media. I was just so excited to know that, you know, that at that point, anything that I had that was on me that I was still holding on to, somebody else's definition of Stephanie, in that moment, I let it go.
Right.
And I found my own definition of who I'm supposed to be.
Wow.
And then stuff just start flowing. And I believe that's when you're in your flow.
Right.
And you grow, you know, because you have to see things about yourself that you don't want to see. You know, you have to be your own critic at times, but not too bad. Have a little compassion for yourself. Yeah, don't beat yourself up
But you
too
just
much.
you have to be and stay true to yourself. Always stay true to yourself, because
That's
when
so
you're
key.
true to yourself, there's nothing that anyone else can say about you that you don't already know.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And you have to own it. Own your mistakes.
Own
it's
it.
okay.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Own that
okay.
stuff.
You know, the misconception people have is they think that people are worried about them.
Yeah, like,
we're worried about ourselves.
we are.
So why do you think somebody is going about their day
Thinking
worried
about you.
Yeah, they're not. No one is thinking about you.
Yeah.
So that mistake you made, get over it. Go on to the next thing.
And
That's
don't
right.
keep
Go on to the
reliving
next
it.
thing.
Don't keep going back to it.
I
Just,
don't. You know,
just keep going. And yeah, I always been so transparent to where it's funny when people tell me, well, you said, somebody messaged me and said, oh, you said too much. Like, what the heck? Why are you worried about what I said? You know, like, if I said what I said is what I said, you know.
Right.
It's freeing myself. Like, I've never been afraid to share what I've gone through with people, you know, because it's in those parts of us when we're exposing ourselves because we have moved past them and learned from them. You know, we give somebody else the freedom to do the same thing. You know, we give them the courage to say, you know what? I mean, I was there.
Right.
I mean, that's the whole reason why I created this platform, was to give women, you know, a chance to express their journey, you know, and the rawness that it is, and talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes women, we're afraid to do that. We're afraid to show, you know, our ugly side.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
crap, you know, you had some days when that shit get ugly.
That is true.
But you own it
That is
and you move on. Because, I mean, that's the whole part of growing. And I think that's the key thing. If we wrap up this whole Bossy Woman's Guide to Becoming Your Best Self, I think it starts with, you know, honoring who you are, how God created you, living in it,
Yeah.
you know, owning that space,
Yeah.
not allowing anybody to redefine it,
Right.
you know, and shit, killing it.
Yeah.
And you know what else I wanted to touch on? You lose friends.
Oh, yeah.
When you're building a business, you know.
You do.
They don't really see, if they're not there with you, they don't know how hard you work.
Yep.
So when you say, hey, do you want to go out, or do you want, no, because
I'm
I have
busy.
orders to fill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, you know,
yeah.
Your priorities shift.
My priorities.
And
yes,
you're
definitely.
going to continue the higher,
Yeah.
with
Put
every
more importance on
level,
yourself.
you're going to continue to lose friends.
You are.
Yeah.
Because people don't understand. They don't understand, and it's okay for them not to
yeah.
not understand. You don't have to explain either.
You don't. You don't owe nobody an
Yeah,
explanation.
you don't.
I think that's what we. And I think it's something a lot of women deal with too, is giving up the need to have to explain anything, being okay with it.
Yes.
So much so to where I think sometimes people fall into the thing, they want to be liked so much, or they want to people please, or
Yeah.
you know, I used to have that people please complex, like, and I don't know why I had it. I ain't need to figure it out in front of y'all today, but I had it for a long time, and then finally I let it go. I was like, first of all, I don't feel the need to want to be liked so much to where I don't honor who I am.
Right.
You know,
right.
so I don't. If I do something, I'm not gonna give no explanation. You know, if I make a decision, it's my decision. I stand by it.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is. But,
Exactly.
You know, you give that up, and you'll see things start really shifting. You know,
Right.
You
Right.
start really owning and walking in who you are, and it feels good.
Right.
You know, you ain't
It
gotta
really
say shit to
does.
nobody about it.
That's right.
You
You
don't.
know, you own it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we are wrapping up the Bossy Women's Guide. Ladies, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
It was so
Yeah,
much
thank you
fun
for having us.
You know, one of the
Awesome,
things that I do want to tell you, ladies, every time someone comes to the table, you not only giving a piece of yourself to me, but you also giving it to someone else who's listening. And that's the power we have, the power to empower. And that shit is amazing. It is dope. It's contagious. You know, my life has been what it's been, and me creating my best life by having women impart on me,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and that's part of this journey for me. You know, life is changing, my life is changing, but I'm not afraid of anything that's happening and where I'm going with it. And I'm thankful I get to share that journey with other women, you know, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And you can check out the full episode of this show. It's going to be available on YouTube. And also, hey guys, if you had any comments, I'm sorry, I'm bad on social media whenever I'm on here because I get in my flow and I forget that people are watching. But I would definitely try to answer any questions. But definitely check us out on iTunes. Make sure you subscribe to iTunes and follow these ladies. You know, definitely follow Billyssia at BeFit. Is it BeFit Foods?
BeFit Foods, BEE, 2 E's, Fit Foods.
Okay. And Shasta, go ahead and throw out your tag.
Guiltless, Forsure.com.
So what's coming up? What y'all got going on this weekend? Any events coming up? What y'all doing?
Well, I have a couple of events. BeFit Foods will be partnering with Legacy the School. It's a new
wow.
charter school in the Woodlands,
Yeah.
and we will be over nutrition for their students.
Yes.
For
that's
their,
amazing.
for their entire program. So they have some
That's amazing.
Events this weekend that I'll be at. We're opening store 2 in spring.
Hey.
Yes. So that's a blessing. It'll be open sometime in the summer, maybe end of July or so, maybe mid-July. But check us out on all platforms
That's
and
amazing.
befitfoods.com to stay in touch with that. And just continuing to work, on our partnerships and our those corporate contracts. Definitely want to be able to help continue to fuel and get Houston healthy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and your whole platform, just when you're speaking to women and empowering people,
yeah.
girl, I love that.
Yeah.
It's just you stay with that so much, even with everything you have going on. You still make time to go back in the community and empower.
Because we can be so hard on ourselves, and what I always, just because, and I'm so glad that God gave this to me, this strength and this belief and this faith to me, because I like to tell other people to believe in yourself.
Yes.
You have to believe in yourself.
you
The
do.
thoughts that you think are yours.
Yes.
And they can come to fruition if you just truly believe and
Absolutely.
trust the process. The journey. The beauty of life is in the journey.
in that journey.
The beauty of life is in the journey. Those bad things, those are some beautiful things
Yeah.
because it
Yep.
makes you stronger and it makes you an overcomer.
Yes.
And I'm definitely an overcomer. As an entrepreneur, you overcome so much and you get so much stronger. So I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, every day there's a fire that I have to put out, but I'm pretty badass.
Girl, you was
and
built
and
for
I
that.
think that we need to tell ourselves that
Yeah.
because we can look in the mirror and be like, oh, this is wrong and this is wrong. But how many times are we saying you're bad?
Yep.
That is true.
You
That's
are so
good.
bad.
I'm saying that
And
now.
Exactly.
Badass
Exactly. We
shit.
really
I
are.
be- I
And if
gotta been on my
nobody tells
mirror,
me,
girl.
nobody has to tell me that.
Nobody got to say
Nobody has
you.
to
You know
tell
why?
me
You affirm it for yourself.
that. Yeah.
And it's that affirmation that you say for you where you don't have to hear from somebody else. Like
That
you
is
never,
true. That is
you know,
true.
especially with being an entrepreneur. I've dabbled in with my husband when we had our own business, and then me trying to go into my own business with real estate. I mean, sometimes you're your own cheerleader, and
Yeah.
that's fine. You're okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so true because sometimes I bake cookies and I don't eat a lot of them, but when I do, I'm like, damn, that
This
tastes
is good.
Girl, you're loving your product. Yeah.
I do. I'm like, you know.
Yeah. No, they really are good.
Yeah.
They really
Yeah,
are
they
good.
are.
I honestly, I gotta stay away from them.
No, you don't have to.
I know you said it's guiltless, but I have a little thing with sugar and sweets and stuff like that. Before I know, I wouldn't got a big old gallon of ice cream.
Had to go to
and I
pair
start
with
going
it.
in
Oh,
it.
no,
So I,
you don't do
I take
that.
it on. Yeah, I know my habits with food, so I gotta also.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
part of knowing
I'm
yourself,
seriously
yeah.
like, if I don't be careful, like I'm a foodie to the, I don't know what. All I like to do is eat.
Yeah,
but I
me
have to
too.
control
Me
that.
too.
Yeah, I
you
would
do.
eat.
You
Yeah.
have to be careful.
Did you share? Go ahead and share all your website information.
You can
Anything
fi-
you have going on? What you have going on? What's coming up for you, Shasta?
Well, First of all, we plan on being in Be Fit Foods in spring.
Yeah, oh yeah, every location.
Sure, we're gonna be there. I'm gonna be doing a few gyms. I plan to be inside of an upcoming gym pretty soon. Also,
way to put your husband to work. I be seeing him.
I know, teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, that's true.
Makes
That's
the
true.
dream work.
He does. My husband is my biggest supporter, and without him, none of this would be possible.
That's amazing.
And actually, my husband is always like, it's time to quit your job. You need to, focus on this. And I'm like, no, not just yet, you know. But if it was up to him, I would have been and have quit a long time ago. But yeah, that's part of the plan. I'm still, hustling, trying to get into more locations, different places. Any event that has anything to do with health, wellness, or whatever, I'm always open to going. I give a lot of stuff away free for promotional, and promotion is the biggest key as far as for me, because it takes one person to try it, and then they'll tell the next person and the next person.
That's how you
I'm always
started.
getting emails and calls. So, but this weekend I don't really have anything going on because it's my anniversary.
Congratulations.
So thank you,
girl.
thank
Have
you.
some fun.
Yes, 19
Go do
years.
something. Don't stay in the house.
Wow.
Yes, I wanted to go over to the royal wedding, but that's not going to happen.
Go do it up like y'all 2 years in.
Exactly. right. But yeah, but you can find us. You can place orders. You can email us. You can text us. You can Facebook us. You can Instagram us. Everything is Guiltless for sure. So, and you can also Google us, www.guiltlessforsure.com, and find all the menus, the pricing, and everything you need to know.
Okay, well, that's been our guide, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Blessings and love.
Bye.
Hey.